I didn't flinch when she slapped my mother. I just stood there, jaw locked, every muscle in my body burning with restraint, barely holding back the quake rising through me. My mother hadn't said anything cruel, nothing offensive. She had simply reminded her, gently, to help clear the table after dinner. 5 words. That's all. But that slap rang out louder than any scream ever could. A sharp, echoing crack of skin on skin. My mother's hand trembled against her cheek, eyes wide with shock. And then came my wife's voice, cutting through the air like a blade dipped in venom. Like mother, like son, both useless. And then her laugh. That shrill, mocking, spine-curdling laugh. The kind that slithers under your skin and stays there, rotting everything it touches. Her father didn't say a word in protest. Just leaned back in his chair, lips curled into something between contempt and amusement. Well, he muttered, eyes fixed on my mother like she was something stuck to his shoe. She needed to learn some shame. They didn't know the microphone was on. That was their first mistake. I met Aaliyah when I was at my lowest. I just lost my job. My father had died from cancer. My mother was recovering from a stroke. I was drowning in grief and debt and silence. And then she appeared, brilliant, educated, warm to everyone, effortlessly charismatic, like someone God sent in a moment of mercy. She laughed easily back then, held my hand when I was too proud to ask for comfort. She told me she loved my mother, and I believed her. I thought love meant loyalty. I thought marriage meant partnership, but she thought it meant ownership. It started small. A dismissive tone when my mother spoke. Eye rolls at dinner. A clipped sigh whenever she asked for help. But it turned colder once I found work again. Once I rebuilt. Once we moved into a house I paid for, and she strutted around like she owned the foundation. Her father never liked my mother. Called her village train once, right in our living room. I should have made him leave that day. But I didn't. I thought patience was strength. I thought forgiveness could change people. I was wrong. The slap happened at my cousin's engagement party. The room was full, relatives, old friends, college mates. My wife was already on edge that night, prickly and sharp. My mother, ever gentle, had only asked her to pass the plates. That was it. Then came the slap, the insult, the laugh, her father's approval. And every moment of it, every syllable and crack of violence, was picked up by the DJ's lapel mic, still live from when I'd adjusted the playlist before dinner. Every word broadcast across the speakers. The silence that followed was suffocating. Someone's aunt gasped. Guests turned and whispered. But Aaliyah? She just smiled. She thought she'd won. That's when the coldness in me finally settled. Not rage. Not sorrow. Something colder. Calmer. She didn't notice the change in me. That was her second mistake. Over the next 3 months, I played the part of the dutiful husband. I smiled, kissed her forehead each night, let her believe she'd broken me. But by day, I was building. I pulled call logs, installed CCTV in the home office, planted tracking software on her laptop. I found emails between her and her ex, vile, mocking messages, hotel bookings, transactions made using my money. I began documenting everything. Her insults, the cruel things she said to my mother. I recorded her father, drunk and arrogant, talking about how they pressured her into marrying me because stupid boys are easy to control. I hired a lawyer, one with a reputation for surgical precision. I began moving assets, transferring funds quietly into my mother's name. I convinced Aaliyah to sign documents buying out her name from the house under the pretense of tax season paperwork. She didn't even read them. That was her third mistake. Then came her birthday. I threw her the kind of party she'd always wanted, lavish, glowing with string lights, catered food, photographers, friends, family. Her father there in his full bluster, already a few drinks deep. In the middle of the celebration, I stood up with my glass, smiled, tapped it twice. I thought we'd all enjoy a little memory from a few months back. I said calmly, confused laughter, curious faces. Then the speakers came alive. Like mother, like son, both useless. The party froze. People turned toward the sound. Her voice echoed, followed by laughter. Then another voice, her father's, talking about how my mother needed to learn shame. A pin-drop silence. Then came the projector footage. From our home, her screaming at my mother, calling her a parasite, telling her to go back to the village, or just die already. Then screenshots, chats with her ex-photos of hotel rooms, bank statements. Her father stood up, red-faced, screaming about fake news. So I played the recording of him, slurring into a glass about how easy it was to manipulate me. That was enough. People began to leave. Some spat at the ground. Others didn't look back. Aaliyah collapsed into a chair, mascara streaking down her face. Her father chased one of the journalists I'd quietly invited. I didn't shout. I didn't touch her. I didn't need to, because everything that mattered to her, her image, her lies, her illusion of control, I shattered it all in public silence. The next morning, she received divorce papers. Full evidence attached. Asset protection finalized. A defamation clause that would bankrupt her family if they even whisper my mother's name in malice. She fought. She threatened. But she had nothing left. She had no job. She quit when I got promoted. No savings. She'd spent it playing house royalty. No friends. Every one of them turned away after the truth came out. Her father tried to sue. The court dismissed it with laughter. The video had already gone viral. I moved my mother into a new house by the sea, a place of calm, where she could wake to the sound of waves instead of slurs. She still flinches sometimes. That slap cut deeper than skin. But she's healing. She smiles now with no fear behind it. And Aaliyah? She lives in a rented flat, works at a call center. Change her last name. The press doesn't return her calls. Her silence now is louder than any apology. People ask if I regret it. I don't. Regret is for the impulsive. I acted with intention, with discipline. She broke something sacred, not just my trust, but my mother's dignity. And for that, she didn't just deserve a reaction. She deserved a legacy of consequence. She thought slapping my mother would make her feel powerful. But she forgot one thing. The microphone was on,